time to take your posture photos. And don't cringe, it's not scary. They're not going to be published anywhere. They're just between us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't listen to Dave.
Man.
Don't listen to David.
Okay.
So the whole point of the posture photos is to be able to document your progress. And posture photos are nothing more than seeing how our body balances. And balance may sound freaky, but we're all balanced. If we weren't balanced, we'd fall over. So it's what our body does to compensate to make sure that we stay balanced. So even if it means that one shoulder is high and one knee goes out or one foot goes out or whatever happens, that's all what our body is currently doing in order to stay balanced. So what we're going to do is I like to see a series of 8 photos. And I'll explain them in more detail when we actually do them. But I'm just going to go ahead and put this aside. And so what we're gonna, ideally if you're doing these at home, either do it on a solid wall or maybe on this where you have a panel door, so you've got something to kind of have a perspective and to line up. When you're taking the photos, we don't want you to be this horribly rigid self. We want you to be where you're comfortable. So the photo that we're seeing is how you are. It's how your body currently is when you stand. Ideally, wear clothing that is relatively tight so that we're able to see if one hip goes off to the other rather than wondering if it's the fact that you're wearing bulky clothes. If you have long hair, preferably take it up, and ultimately you'll understand the logic for this, but try to take it up and over and not to the back of your head, because we're wanting ultimately to take a photo with your head against the wall. So we're just going to go ahead and try to put our hair out of the way so that it's not an issue. If you are able to just put your hair behind your ears, that's fine, but mine doesn't stay there. So we've just got my hair out of the way. And the first photo that we're taking is going to be straight on. And each time we're going to be turning around, each time you're going to kind of like march in place for a couple of steps because we want your body to feel comfortable. And it's easy when we're turning in circles for one foot to end up being planted someplace, so it's going to look like we're compensating strangely. So if we just gently march in place before we take the photo, then that will be a better perspective. So gently stand with your hands at your side, looking straight ahead, and then take the photo. Or have somebody, whoever's working with you, take the photo. If you're doing this by yourself, maybe you have a remote for your phone, or you can time your phone. And then the next photo we're going to go to is the right-hand side. Again, we're going to kind of walk in place. We're going to get to a nice, comfortable position, looking straight ahead, and take the photo. One more quarter turn. Again, we're going to stand. Try to be nice and stable. Take the photo. And then to this side. Again, we're walking in place. Trying to be aware but not force our position because we want this to be what we currently are. We're looking straight ahead and take the picture. So then the next 4 are just looking and trying to concentrate on range of motion. So first one is going to be a forward fold. So you're going to hinge at your hips. You're trying not to round the back. You're hinging at the hips. You're coming forward. You're allowing your arms to come toward the floor. If you touch the floor, that's fine. If you don't touch the floor, that's fine. So if this is where you are, if this is where you are. But I prefer that you just allow your arms to hang so that in the future we can see the perspective on how your range of motion has changed. And then the next one, we're still going to stay at the same position and go ahead and march in a couple of paces if you wish. And this time, the arms are going to go straight up overhead. And so you're going to come to whatever straight up is. If you're able to go a little bit back, that's fine if you have the range of motion. But none of what we're doing is forced. And then if you're having somebody else take the photos, you can have them take it from this side. You can have them take it from this side. Because I want the 2 perspectives. Because I want to be able to see here that you're going front to back. I want to be able to see here that you're able to get your arms up and overhead, because a lot of people, this is as far as they can come. And so if you're able to come all the way in and touch your hands, then that gives us a really good perspective on what your range of motion is. And come on down. And then I want you to, if you're at a door, make sure the door is secure. And you're going to put your hips and your shoulders against the door or the wall, wherever you are. The feet are comfortably away. You're going to stand looking straight ahead, and the goal is for your eyes to be looking straight ahead. The chin is parallel with the floor, and the goal is that your head, in a perfect world, your head touches the wall. If it does not, then we're going to measure it. So you're going to measure it with the side of your hand. So for example, if I was leaning against the wall and I was able to put 2 fingers back there, then that is what you would document is, and so go ahead into your photo, go ahead and figure what that is. Come back here and put your hand back here, and then go ahead and tell me how many fingers that is that you have. So that's basically it. And you can always, if you're local, you can always come into the studio and I will do that for you. But needless to say, if there's any questions, give me a holler. And thanks so much for joining us.